to start with a story of a 14-year-old named Malik. Malik, a couple of years ago, was on the verge of destruction. Was about to join the gang, the youth gang right here in Houston. He lives right here in Fort Bend County. But one Saturday, Malik was very fortunate to be invited to a soccer practice. And that day, Malik's life changed forever. Malik met a mentor, he met leadership, and he met a community that was willing to support him. Right now, 2 years after, Malik is thriving. He's doing extremely well with his education, and in fact, he's already giving back to the academy by mentoring all the young players that we have. That's exactly what we do at Midas Football Academy. Every day, we mentor young kids through sports, through leadership, and showing them that there is more beyond any other option of screen time, crime, and whatever else they have their mind set on. Imagine the cost that Malik would have cost us if he didn't meet the community he met just about a couple of years ago. Just as some of you here might already know, that the Texas incarceration rate is higher than any independent democratic country in the world. As at 2023, the data we have is about 140,000 people are incarcerated in Texas prisons alone. About 18% of them are under 18 years of age. And there is a pattern. This even got worse after the COVID epidemic that we had in 2020. Kids are much more confused, they are much more in trouble, they are much more bent to go to other things than the actual life pattern that they're supposed to follow. So that's what we are up against. And what we decided to do at Midas Football Academy is to do something about it. What other people that we know do is just talk and not take any action. Well, how did I know so much about this data? Well, I lived a life in both sides, outside and behind those walls. I started my career in broadcasting after my 3-year vocational education in 1999 as a broadcaster, and I've had the privilege of covering 2 FIFA World Cup, traveled to a couple of countries through that. More importantly, when I immigrated to the United States about 12 years ago through a fellowship program, I had a chance of learning more about the criminal justice system. So I said, let me learn more. So I ended up working as a correctional officer for 8 years, and I only left early this year. So I saw it from both sides. And I know that if nothing is done, the cycle will continue, and it's probably going to get worse. For us, we believe that it is better for us to go through prevention route than rehabilitation. Because while working behind the system, I always feel like every other person that, okay, I can help some of these inmates. I can make them a better person by talking to them, by making sure, okay, what brought you here? But what I noticed is that once they go out, for some reason, in less than a year or so, they are right back in the system. Some will even tell you confidently, I will be back, without thinking about it. And you wonder, why would you be back? So what I think we would do about it is to do prevention, go the prevention route. Before they go in there, let's do something about it. So one of the things we have done so far, we have partnered with other non-profit organizations. Just this past week, we had the pleasure of serving the Attack Poverty non-profit organization in their Mission Week program. We went there and we were able to engage about 36 youths in mentorship and in soccer, and you could see exactly what I was talking about. Some of them, when they come around, they're just standing there, so you need to do a lot of work to be able to break the ice and share what you have with them. We are also partnered with, hopefully, child advocates in the next few weeks, and more importantly, this coming Monday, I will be speaking at the Fort Bend County Jail to the young people in there. These are some of the ways we are already serving, but we are hoping to do more. we are launching structured mentorship programs that is focused on emotional health and decision making as well as leadership of our young people, because we believe we have to do the work. Also, we are partnering with schools. Just about 2 weeks ago, we were also at the Houston Public School at the Institution of Performing Arts. We also were able to engage about 55 kids in 2 different sessions that day, and they had so many questions to ask. So we are doing the work. Also, we believe that vocational education pathway is something that many of these kids do not know. I shared earlier that when I was 16 years old, my father saw me that I was really young, and he knew if I was not busy, if I was not continuously doing something, I probably would be another statistics as well. And that was why he sent me to vocational education college. So I studied sports and media broadcasting. That's one of the things we are hoping to also do for some of the young people right here in this county. More importantly, early soccer engagement, because that's the tool that we use. We believe soccer for us is just a hook that we use, but we teach much more than that. Soccer is just that tool that we use to have access to them. We teach them leadership, we teach them mentorship, we teach them how to be able to identify danger when they see one and not to let peer pressure be the major things that will affect their life. Because I have reasoned that for most of them, peer pressure has been the biggest challenge. They want to be like their friend, they want to buy that same Nike that their friends have on without having the basic understanding that maybe the mom or dad was able to afford that for him. Trying to clarify their mind on that. And finally, family and community support. Organizing workshops for parents, support system for families, and youth mental health, which is another thing entirely. So that's what we focus on. We believe prevention is much more better than rehabilitation, because if we have to go to rehabilitation routes, it's costing us more in our police officers. They are, for example, I don't know how many of you watches TV every day. I always give this instance most of the time. When you go home today, if you have not done that before, put on your TV and tune into your favorite channel, anything from 4 p.m. I guarantee you, for the first 3 news that you're going to see, you will either see a young man that has just done something silly and is heading to prison, or you are seeing some that is already incarcerated and is even making his life worse. It is happening. All we have to do is just to pay more attention to what is going on. And these are some of the programs that we have at Midas Football Academy that we are using. We have a program called Rising Stars. I'm not going to go too much into that. That's why we have a brochure right in front of you to be able to read more about it. We have the Iwuri initiative, which is called Aspire, that we are also introducing to schools. We have the HFM initiative, the Houston Futures Mentorship Program. And what we do with that program is we partner our teenagers ages 16 to 21 with a mentor within the city, with a mentor in different fields, vocational fields, people that do AC repairs, people that repair vehicle, people that do tailoring, for them to partner with this person to mentor them for a year and ask questions. Rather than for you, when you are not doing anything at home, just to be home, we prefer to partner them with a mentor. And the program so far is already yielding results. And more importantly, we have our 5K annual walk, which is a form of visibility for us. We organize that every year. For this year, it's going to be in September, on September 20th. Community partnership is everything, because everything I have mentioned is not something we can do by ourselves. And that's why I'm very grateful for having this opportunity to present to you today. We're going to need your help to be able to continue this work that we do. And the best way you can help us is recommendation for grants. There are so many of them out there that we don't know about. You can easily mention it to us, and we'll have a chance to apply and see if those grant givers consider us as one of the recipients of such grants. Of course, you can always donate to us generously. Donate one time, in kind, monthly or annually, or as needed. The biggest area is volunteerism. As you know, that non-profit most of the time operates on volunteerism. We need volunteers. We need volunteer coaches that will help us with what we do, teaching the kids soccer, teaching them our programs in classes and in schools, and more importantly, to go out there and be our ambassadors, to talk about what we do about our work, how we can get into much more area of this county and even beyond. And our website is the best resource, midasfa.org. This is the latest data that we have for what we have been able to do so far. In 2023, we had about 7 community events, and we were able to organize several events, and that's the outcome right there. We're able to foster a stronger community engagement using soccer as an empowering tool. We're able to impact 280 kids so far, and that's just the last data. We don't have our current year yet. 280 kids so far. We've not raised a lot of money. As a non-profit, we intentionally always display what we make because it's the public record. But we are doing the work through our own passion and through some of our volunteers as well. So that's the impact so far that we have made in less than 2 years that we have been in operation. But imagine if we have a little bit more fuel in our gas, in our tank, we can go far, far, far beyond that and hopefully be able to serve much more kids in the community. As an organization, we have a vision. Our vision is massive, massive. That's what we dream to do eventually in the next couple of years. But we know that for you to get there, you have to put in the work. Our vision is to be able to build a facility where the kids can come at the age of 13 years old and be a full resident in our facility. And when they are graduating at the age of 18, spending 5 years there, they're able to learn vocational education in 3 fields that we believe are ever in demand. Hopefully we're going to add more. One of them is auto mechanic. I drive a 13-year-old car, and I know that that car will always need help every now and then. So we believe that field is not going to ever stop. People need to fix their cars. So that field is one of the fields that we target. Auto mechanic. Most of us are putting on a cloth right now. That cloth is made by someone. Fashion designing is the other field that we're targeting. And we're going to teach these kids that skill for them to go out and be able to use it to serve the community rather than anything else. And the third one is my background, as I spent more years in media and broadcasting more than any other field, which is anything media related. That's what we hope to do in vocational area. We also believe that some of them that are really talented will be signing their first professional contract at the age of 18. And if a player signs a professional contract, I don't know how many of you is a soccer lover here. Those guys make money. They make a lot of money. The highest earner today in that game earn about $350,000 a week. In a week. But a lot of people are not aware of this. Yes, I did not just make up the number. $350,000 a week is what the highest earner made in soccer today in Europe. We hope some of them can go that route. And more importantly, we still believe in education as well. We believe that if you are not able to learn a skill because you feel you don't want it, if you are not able to play soccer because you don't have the skill or the capacity, at least go to college, go and get education. And through our organization, we are hoping that we'll be able to send them there. All scholarship are paid for them. But that's our dream going forward. How can you support us? Well, it's right there. That's some of our kids right now visiting the Houston Dynamo Stadium to watch a soccer game in the MLS. You can support us through Zelle, through Cash App, and through our website. Our website is the best resource that you can give to us. Also, as someone that does what I do, I authored 2 books, and I have one of them here. This particular one was the last one that I wrote that detailed my experience working in the criminal justice system. And that's just going to be about my presentation. If you have any question, I will be willing to ask, I will be willing to answer, but thank you for having me, and I really, really do appreciate you.